these are the best investment designer bags to buy in 2023, or are they? Around this time every year, I start going through some reports, I start digging around to see which bags are retaining the most value for resale. Now, I find this interesting personally, and I know that some people do buy wanting to know that knowledge, and that, you know, if you're no longer interested in the bag, you can get, you know, the majority of your money back, if not more. So, as I was living my life, I came across this Vogue article. They go through 19 designer bags that have the highest resale value, and I thought that we would go through these and see whether or not I agree with a little bit of resale information to back us up. The links to these bags on resale sites will be below or in the shopping prompt on the screen. The first one really surprised me straight off the bat. The Gucci attaché. And this surprised me because she's new. So part of their reasoning is crescent and moon shaped bags have been and certainly are still trending. Now I like this bag, I think it's a great bag, I think it's very wearable, usable and all of that. And I think when it comes to reselling, there's like two ways to do it, which is you have the thing, you hold on to the bag, it increases in value and then you sell it. Or if it's a trendy bag, the earlier you sell it on, the more resale value you tend to get. So I have compared the retail price with what it's selling for. I'm going to be using dollars, but the same sort of results are with any currency. And to be honest with you, on the real, they're selling very, very close to the retail value. And this is also surprising because Gucci generally isn't known to, you know, retain their value as well as other brands. And if we're looking at another resale company, Rebag also is selling it around retail. Guys, if you're new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're gonna love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Bag number 2, another newcomer, the Bottega Veneta Sardine bag. The thing with Bottega is that they do quite a lot of price increases. Price increases is a very big reason as to why some of these bags and brands retain their value, because price keeps going up. The longer you hold on to it, the more, you know, you're going to get close to, if not more than what you paid. This bag in stores is $4,200, and looking at the sold ones, I mean, they're selling at about 30% less. This one's sold quite high, this is $3,200. But the ones that are on the real wheel, of which are not very many, have sold about 33% less than their amount in stores. Rebag, $3,800, about 10% less than its retail price. The other thing is that there don't seem to be many of these around, which means that there's less competition. So you don't really need to drive your price down in order for yours to be the one that sells. Whereas, if we look at something like the Mini Jodie, I mean, there's lots on here. Look, there's so many. Right, the ones that are sold, $1,400, $1,400, $1,500. These are selling retail for like $2,700, I believe. Yeah, you can see how people are really having to like drive the price down in order for theirs to be the one that sells. And obviously when it comes to variations, certain ones are going to, you know, retain more value than others because there's less of them. Supply and demand, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the next one on their list was the Saint Laurent Sancassette bag. Now, this one is very popular. She's a little shoulder bag. Their reasoning for the Sancassette is it comes in several limited edition variations, including python and calfskin, making it a true collectible. Historically, Saint Laurent doesn't really retain its value as well as other brands, but shockingly, these are retaining about 70% of its value. Hermes Kelly 28. This is the only Hermes bag on the list. We know that Hermes quota bags are really, hands down, the best investment bags in the world, to be honest with you. Because of the fact that, you know, you've got to jump through hoops, blah, 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 to get them. You're not even necessarily guaranteed that you're going to get the colour, the size, the leather that you want. So the resale market is just absolutely through the roof when it comes to Birkins, Kellys, Mini Kellys, to a certain extent like Constance as well. The fact that this surprises me is because if you look at Kelly 28s on resale markets online, obviously you're going to get more for them than you paid for, right? Just hands down, we know this. But I would actually say that out of all non-exotic, non-special order Birkins, Kellys and all of that, the ones that you are getting way, way, way more for your money than what you paid would be the Mini Kellys, the Birkin 25s. But both of these are very dependent on trends. Those two at the moment are going for so much on resale because smaller bags are very trendy, and that's what people are really gravitating towards at the moment. And if you look at something like a Birkin 35, I think on the real you can get a Birkin 35 for around $10,000. Still more than you would pay for in store, but not by too much. And I definitely think as the trends are showing that we are way more interested in BBE, big bag energy in the coming months, I think we'll start to see some of those on the resale market, the Birkin 30s, those slightly larger sizes, go up and up and up and up in price again, and maybe the smaller ones start to die down. Let's see though, because so much of this is trend dependent. Prada Re-Edition 2000. Now again, this has been subject to quite a hefty price increase over the few years since it's been reissued. It says, one scroll through Instagram will walk through the Lower East Side will confirm that Prada's 2005 shoulder bag has had a moment over the last few years. She's here to stay. It's come in crystal, it's come in satin and all of that. I think this one sort of really depends on the limited edition-ness of the bag. Lest we forget, when I first got my crystal Re-Edition, she's since gone up heavily in price. These were really kind of like getting way more for their retail price on the resale market because it was initially like a limited edition for, I can't remember exactly where it was. Then they sort of opened it up and you could get these worldwide, and of course their availability went up, the resale value goes down. So I think this one really depends on the limited edition-ness of the bag. They recently did the gold collection for Christmas. Maybe that retains a bit more value than the readily available nylon versions. So this sort of retail is $1,390 and they're selling for around the $1,000 mark. So it's retaining a 75% of its value. The Louis Vuitton Neverfull. The notorious Neverfull. This is no surprise at all. It's an OG on this list, and once again, Louis Vuitton like their price increases, and this bag has gone up in value over the last few years. It's very popular, it's always in demand. Depending on the condition as well, that's got to be taken into account with resale. Depending on the condition of these bags, the retail is about $2,000. You're seeing these retail anywhere from about $900 to $1,800. There's a very wide range there. The downside of this is that there's a lot. There is a lot on the resale market. If you're looking to buy, you can get a great deal. If you're looking to sell, your bag might be up there for months. Chanel Classic Mini Flat Bag. Is any of us surprised? Once again, there's a name of the game here, and that name of the game is price increases. Newcomer. This is the Loire Anna bag. This is definitely much more on the approachable price point. So these retail are about $250, $245, and the smaller size is going for around $140. About 60%. There's not many of these kicking around. I don't think it's got fantastic retention. I don't know why it's necessarily on this list, but I would probably assume that there are other bag designs that retain more than this one. But, I mean, it's not like you're going to get 30% back of what you paid for it. Next up is another affordable, trendy favourite. This is the Coperni Swipe Bag. The bag has taken off and been reimagined into different colourways and sizes. After maintaining its popularity over the last 4 years, this bag has secured its place as a true investment piece. And this one surprised me as to why it was on the list, because depending on the variation, a lot of these do end up in sales. I know recently, for the last Essence sale, there were a number of these in there, and like 60% off, you know? And usually that's a sign to me with the investment value of bags. If it goes in the sale or it's in an outlet or something like that, it doesn't tend to really retain much of its investment value. But I have gone and done my clicking around and on the research. And to be honest with you, again, depends on the size and the variation. On the high end, about 70% retention. Not bad. The Jacquemus Le Chiquito, my old friend, made it onto this list. You're looking at about got a 75 to 80% retention on these, but they are flooded on the market again. Similar to the Coperni Swipe Bag, I do see the odd ones of these making it into the sale. So while I don't think it's the worst bag for investment value, I don't think it's a surefire winner. Then we have the Miu Miu Wonder Bag. So Miu Miu, hottest brand of 2022, we know this, and their main bag really last year was the Miu Miu Wonder. I think as the popularity with Miu Miu in general has increased, so has people's interest in the bags. And again, Miu Miu isn't necessarily a brand that comes to mind when I think of investment value of bags, but so retail, you're looking at about $2,600 for these bags, and they're selling for about $1,695. But then on Vestiaire, I sort of saw them around $1,000. I wouldn't say that Miu Miu is a great brand if you're looking for like an investment bag. The Prada Re-Edition 1995 tote. Our return to the office has also made a significant impact on bag trends. We're seeing strong demand for back to business styles. That's true. Big trend for spring-summer 2023 is that sort of very boxy bag style, which this definitely is. And apparently this one has really soared in demand. So, what does my research tell me? The mini is $3,300, selling at around $1,960, down 40%. The small, down 44%. So I think the mini size is retaining more value than the next size up. But I don't necessarily think it's a great choice in general, you know, sort of 60-ish% retention. It's better than 50%, better than nothing. The Row. We've been seeing an uptick in demand for cylinder-shaped bags like this one from The Row. According to their team, the Row's 90s bag is a hard one to find but a valuable treasure to hold on to. I mean, I think we all know I'm not a The Row expert, visually. I mean, this top says it all. She's not buying The Row. But from my clicking around, what did I find? Actually, they retain about 80% of their value, which is pretty high. The Row is one of those brands that as well has a cult following. It's not a badly priced bag to begin with when it comes to bags from The Row. So yeah, I would actually say it does pretty well. We have the Pollen numero 10, a newer brand with a strong investment potential. They launched this bag less than 2 years ago and it's already been in high demand. Okay, now I've heard a lot about Pollen. I haven't touched a Pollen bag. I mean, like, the styles aren't necessarily for me. They're a bit too minimal for me, but I can see why people like them. And apparently the quality is very good. So these retail for about $500 and they're going for like Vestiaire Collective around $300, The Real around $400. Not fantastic resale, but not bad at all. We've got up-and-comer Brandon Blackwood with the Kendrick trunk. The Kendrick trunk, a mini shoulder bag that comes in a variety of joy-inducing colours, I like that, is a popular piece on the resale market. Now, I do think that this is because they tend to sell out. And I think while they're sold out, people may not know when the next drop is. I don't know, you may want it for a specific occasion, blah, 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 so you turn to the resale market, and there you go. The price depends on the material that it's made from, and then that also contributes to resale value. But generally, I mean, they're keeping about 75% of their value on resale, which also, for a kind of a, you know, affordable bag, $265-ish, is quite good. For a Lepage, once again, I'm not going to sit here and claim that I know the ins and outs of this brand, because I don't. I would say it's an alternative to something like the Goyard tote, which you can't buy online, you have to famously go in store, blah, blah, blah. Let's take the Daily Battle bag. It's got 3 sizes. The smallest size, which is the 27, you've got about a decrease in 17% of the value on resale. The 32 size, 37% decrease. The 37 size, 30% decrease. So the smallest size has the highest amount of retention, followed then by the largest. Bit of a surprise, a lot of surprises in this article. The Mac & Mac Samantha bag. A brand better known for their best-selling shoes, yes, also has an incredibly sought-after handbag collection. Their mini Samantha bag is selling up to 80% of the manufacturer's suggested retail price. So I went and did my digging. And as soon as I typed it in, there was one that was on sale, which again, you know, for me, a bit of alarm bells when it comes to investment bags and whether or not you're bothered about that. Full price, it's about $918. And to be honest with you, I couldn't really see any sold on these sites. I don't think there's enough of these around to really judge whether or not it's a good investment bag. The next one is one that does not surprise me, and that's the Telfar Shopping Bag. Now, they've done really well when it comes to investment value because of their drop system. Because as soon as a Telfar bag drop happens, they all sell out, and then it's good luck to you, off you go to the resale market. They are marking these bags up hugely. Like, if you have a Telfar bag where you are without a doubt going to get 100% of your value back, you're going to make more on it. So just from clicking around, a medium size is $200, and again, certain colours, blah, 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 are more sought after, but the cheapest one I found was $250. And I think especially at such an affordable retail price, they've done a really, really great job of making their bags have this level of investment value. The last bag on the list, you know she's my personal favourite, is the Fendi Baguette. So what have they said? Carrie's go-to handbags value has grown significantly since its 1997 launch. Its original price ranged from $1,000 to $1,500, and baguettes today range between $2,950 to $3,750. The search rate for this treasure only continues to grow. What they're telling us there and what we're seeing, slightly different in my view. So I think that the new baguettes, depending on the variation, because the ones with the sequins are highly sought after, they, especially the purple one, really sold out. Limited edition collaboration versions, stuff like that, you're going to see those go for more than their retail. But generally, for a sort of standard Fendi baguette, they're retaining about 60% of their value, which isn't phenomenal. And I think that part of that is because there's a lot of them on the resale market. And again, if we have learned anything from earlier in this video, the more of them that there are, the more you're gonna have to cut your price down in order to, you know, tempt people if it's not a limited edition or a special color or any of that. I would like to note that there were no Dior bags on this list. And Dior generally is never really regarded as like a fantastic investment bag, but they have been doing a lot of price increases recently. So I would definitely say that over the next few years, they will be retaining more and more and more of their value as their prices continue to go up. I personally don't buy with investment value in mind, but that's because I'm a hoarder. But I completely understand why people do. You want to be able to, you know, get out of something if you fall out of love with the bag, and especially with, you know, a recession looming, I completely understand why people want to buy with investment value in mind, and knowing that, like, should I need to get rid of this, I'm going to get, you know, have a general idea of around what you're looking to get afterwards. Of course, times change, trends change. Something might be an investment bag one year and really not one the next. While you're also thinking of investment value, do think of investment in your wardrobe, right? How usable something is for you, because that is equally as important. You should love it while you've got it. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.